It ain't going to be much of a discussion, I get. Well, because I got to leave in the next 20 minutes. But
Oh, wow.
whatever you want to talk about is fine.
Yeah, I did not have anything planned, to be honest, because I was so focused on my laundry, so I didn't um, remember this. I was focused on my laundry. I was trying to laundry some shoes.
No, it's fine. Hey, why don't you ask one of those questions that I didn't get around to answering?
Okay, sure. The last one, I think it was the last one that you didn't get the answer, and the last one was I will try to tell you from memory, but I will look it up while I'm talking to you. But I will say it from memory first.
Okay.
The question was, what more would you like to see in the 9/11 debates that we have?
Wow. Okay. What would I like to see more of? Definitely a lot more rational discussion. And the reason is because from my experience as a whole when discussing 9/11, it usually just derails. I mean, completely off the rails.
Yeah.
In regards to any point. I mean, any point. Yeah. But if we're talking about like the planes and the hijackers, I mean, the conversations usually, again, this is from my perspective, usually goes off the rails. People will call me a shill. They'll call me a government asset, an Israeli asset. I'll be called a Muslim phobe. I've been called every name in the book because I believe that the planes crashed where they crashed. The irony of these people is that I also believe that there were supposed to be more planes that were hijacked. But that's another subject for another day. But yeah, what I love to see more of is more of a calmer attitude by people regarding the truther side. I mean, you get a few debunkers like Elizabeth Tague, who's completely irrational, but not many I know of on the debunker side that's like really like off the rails. And they'll, because I have like 700 blocked right now, 700 people. Most of those people are either no planers or Judy Wooders or fake profiles that just, are trolling. Because
that's good.
I used to be a troll myself, so I know.
Oh.
So, but with my, with recent, my recent showing of 9/11, like I want to become more open and more vocal. I have to. I would like to use my face and my name because I feel that whatever I want to talk about 9/11 will be scrutinized, but I want to put my face and name out there, and it becomes much more inviting for a rational discussion. And that's what I figured out because years ago I really didn't care much about social media. I really didn't care about MySpace or Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. But I see that a lot of people are just like profiting off telling falsehoods and basically lies about 9/11. And I got angry because I said, well, look at these people. They're getting away with it. No one's really scrutinizing them. And there's not many skeptics out there to begin with. So I said, you know what? If people like Ryan Dawson and Nelson Martins can, show their face and name, why can't I? So that's what I did. And Adam Green is the reason why, because when I was a fake profile and talking about 9/11 with him, he actually called the school that I made believe I was a teacher from Tennessee, and my name's Edward Rossberger. So he says, hey, you're not Edward Rossberger. I don't believe you, and he blocked me. But before he blocked me, I said, I'm going to prove to you that whatever I say about 9/11, I'm going to put my face and name on it. So I did this at work. I actually did it at work. So I put my real name, my real face, and the picture that you see now is from work. And that's the picture I use. I still use the picture. That's my real name. And he says, I don't care, and he blocked me. And then it was Nelson months later who said, no, he's the real deal, and, he's not lying, he's not a troll, and I've been out ever since, but that's the reason why. And I always had like a small respect for Adam to challenge me, and, he got me to come out, of the closet, so to speak, as being the real deal. But yeah, but he's right. But because I want to know who you are, and now I don't want to know where you live and where you work, but I want to know if you're the real deal and you're willing to stake your fate, your person and what you have to say. And why not? If you're going to go out and say the truth and you're going to make egregious statements that you've never heard before, yeah, stake your name on it, stake your face on it, your personality, person on it. But I can understand that people don't want to do that, and there's very few people that don't use their real name and face. I know that Eric Merritt doesn't use his picture, but I respect him enough when it comes to the physics aspect because he knows what he's talking about. And,
yeah, he's very skilled, actually.
Right, but I let him get away with it. Usually, fake profiles I'll block. But if you're really like a rational person and willing to discuss the issues and know what you're talking about, yeah, I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to trust you. But trust is a hard thing these days, so I'm going to, I'm very careful. So, yeah.
Of course, but he's also one of these people who are very, very respectful, and he's also very knowledgeable, so we can learn a lot from him. So he really fits what you want and what I want also, because I also sort of answered like you did, so I also want a very respectful debate. I lack I said that I like to have both sides coming together, just normal people, not like some kind of shouting match, but normal people coming together and having a real fruitful discussion about this.
Yeah, and you know what? I think, and it goes back to the question that you raised. I mean, if we're going to have any type of productive conversation, we have to really weed out the trolls from the real people, and then we have to weed out the real people who hold on to these irrational positions from those who have a more rational point of view. And it's a step-by-step evolution, right? I mean, but it has to start somewhere. And that's what I think needs to happen in order to do anything productive from this point forward regarding 9/11. If you're going to, I love when truthers say, we need a new investigation. No one's going to take you seriously enough to start a new investigation when you have people on your side of this fence claiming that no planes hit anywhere on 9/11. I'm sorry, but let's just say if you had like someone on the truther side go in front of like a committee of people regarding like say NORAD or like the government, you're going to be thrown out.
Yeah, of course.
That will be the death knell of the truther committee, and I think most of them know that. They want a new investigation. We need a new investigation. You ain't getting one with the positions you hold. Mini nukes, no planes, holograms, CG, whatever. It's just not going to happen. And that's what happened with the real truthers, right? The real truthers were the widows of the husbands who died in the World Trade Center, right? They formed a group, and they literally tried to force the government in opening the 9/11 Commission. And from there, that truther group, because to me they were the real truthers, from there, that group got infiltrated, or they got de-evolved, as I would say, into a more laughable position. It started with Thierry Mason. That started the no plane at the Pentagon. And with the no plane at the Pentagon, you have people like David Ray Griffin, William Pearl, the earlier talking heads that said, "Hey, if there was no plane at the Pentagon, there's no planes at the World Trade," and then it just collapsed right from there, right? Because what do we see now? A myriad of ridiculous scenarios and claims made by a number of truther groups that contradict one another within their own movement. So now they're in disarray.
Yeah,
So,
but it's very funny for someone who's a debunker to see. It's a lot of enjoyment.
listen, if you're a sadist, you're laughing at the point. But for me, it's a serious issue because most of these people influence a lot of people. Because I said to you before yesterday that truther groups are more influential than debunker groups because debunkers don't make documentaries. They don't go around the country doing lectures. They don't write books. They just ascertain to the basics of 9/11, right? They go by the 9/11 Commission's report, just the basics of 9/11, and I coexist with them on just with that. The finer details I disagree, but the truthers have so many influential speakers, and they make more documentaries, they make more films, they do more books, and this reaches a far greater audience. But the flip side of that is that more of these people are believing the fantastical scenarios of 9/11 in which they speak of. So it reaches a far greater audience than what debunkers do or skeptics do, because there's not many skeptics like us. There's a handful. But that's the only problem I have. That's why I don't laugh at them anymore. I see them as a problem. And that's not a direct charge to all truthers, because all truthers don't think that way. I'm talking about just the fantastical talking heads. I'm talking about David Ray Griffin. I'm talking about Christopher Bolin, Rebecca Roth, Loose Change, the directors of In Plain Sight, Citizens Investigation Team, you have Pilots for 9/11 Truth. All these, and there's more, but all these organizations and individuals reach such a wide audience, and it's like kids growing up today when they watch like movies. Movies today stink, and music today stinks, in my opinion. But what do they know? They only know that much. They don't know anything about Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin, right? Unless you show it to them, unless they experience it. But if they're going to be saturated with Lil Wayne and other rapper groups or other country groups, and I hate country, but I mean, my goodness, how can they ascertain what's good and what's not if all they know is bad forms of music and stuff? Then that's what the audience is. If they just hear the truth side that saturate 9/11 discussion, what do they know? They don't know anything else. So that's my problem, and I think that's what needs to happen with 9/11 discussion. We need more productivity. We need more open-ended, rational debate instead of this irrational conversation that we're seeing today.
Yeah, for sure. But then you have people like Adam Green there, for example, who maybe seems like sort of rational at first, but then you see that everything points to Israel or Jews when it comes to him. So you have to dismiss him, and then also, as I told you also some other time, that Ryan Dawson seems to, in my opinion, not in your opinion, but in my opinion, seems to he seems to lean towards blaming Israel and Jews, in my opinion. But maybe I don't have the full picture like you have told me, but that's how I see it. So there is it's a bit hard to find the most rational people. But your position on the conspiracy theories is one I think is the most rational, because you are eager to learn, and you have studied the subject in depth, and that's two prerequisites I think you need to be able to get to the truth. that you have to be curious and want to know, and you have to get in depth in some things depending on what you want to learn about. I mean, like we said before, there are so many things that you can learn about in 9/11, so you can really you can really get in deep in so many topics. I mean, you can become like Eric. You can become an expert in paint chips. Not all are experts at paint chips or thermite, but he is an expert in that. So we almost need like an ecosystem of experts in these different topics of 9/11 to get like the full picture when all of them come together. And I think that it's a bit unfortunate that we don't have Ronald Wick here, because he's very, very good, because he has talked to experts in your country, so he knows like very, very well the ins and outs of 9/11, and he has of course very good contacts. So he knows about Mick West and other experts. Mick West is a very good debunker who just wrote a book actually. So yeah, we should have a real good rational debate. Actually, Ronald Wick, I think you have seen him debate, right?
Eric?
No, Ronald Wick.
Oh, Ronald Wick? Yeah, I have him on block on Facebook. I don't think that's the real Ronald Wick. But
you have seen him, right?
Yeah, on Fire Talk, right? You're talking about, or Hot Talk or something like that?
Hardfire, but you've seen him talk on Facebook, I mean, also.
But I don't think that's really him.
Yeah, but you have seen him.
Profile. Yep.
Yeah.
You're talking about the picture with the hippo, right?
Yeah. But I am sure that it is him actually. But when he talks on Facebook, he is not the way he is when he's in real life.
On the show, right? Yeah, that's why I don't think it's him.
No, I can understand that, but I am fairly sure, because I think I told you once that me and him were on some smaller internet radio show for maybe those who are anarchists, and he and I had gotten that invite in the group that he admins. So I think it's the same. I think it's fairly clear. He used to have his picture from the show also, but now he has the hippo baby. But he did something very good once. He did like talks on the streets of Manhattan. He talked to truthers down like by the water or something. There was one 9/11 when there was some truthers who had gathered toward the water, and he went there with a camera and microphone, and he went there to talk to these people. And when he did that, he was like as good as he is in his TV shows. And I think when you can talk to people in that way that he does, then you can get a really fruitful conversation, I think, because he can begin to talk about stories almost.
Right.
And that's a pretty good way to like get people entertained and also make a fair point. And he could almost talk about anything. He was on Austin Thomas internet radio also, and he could talk about anarchism very well, actually, against anarchism. And he did that in an entertaining way. So I have been on some internet radios too, at least. But yeah, those were funny.
Well, even if it was really him, he just he comes off as an abrasive individual on Facebook. So I'd rather not deal with, instead of like I see it as this way. Instead of like insulting or playing along or continuing the conversation, which I know will just become, a bunch of trivial nonsense, I'd rather just block them. Because for me, it's not about a popularity issue. I'd rather have a select group of company when it comes to this subject anyway. But, to each their own. I mean, but that's okay. But for me, I mean, I don't care, like, if my channel gets popular or I'm going to start doing weekly videos on YouTube, and I don't care if it gets popular. If I could reach a certain select group of people that will have a more reasonable discussion, whether they be truth or debate, it doesn't matter. But that's what I'm looking for, because from there we can go forward. And
that's very, very good.
Right, because we can't go anywhere if we're just going to, degrade ourselves with the usual profanities and debasement. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that if we want to get forward and really progress, I think we need a rational discussion. But I think Ronald Wick and Elizabeth Haig, they feel that they have done this so long, so they have become like bitter and think that everyone who is still a truther, they must have some kind of ulterior motive, or they are perhaps not well, or so. So they feel that at least Elizabeth Haig, she has explained to me that the reason why she is so mean is because she wants to sort of
shame them.
She wants to push people down so that they will stop this, because she thinks that's the best for them, so to speak. She thinks it's better for them to learn the hard way to stop talking about conspiracy theories. But while I have another position where I feel that, okay, maybe people are wrong, but in normal life, if someone is wrong and maybe it's a bit foolish or whatever, I don't usually call them idiot, right?
Yeah, right.
So I feel that if I don't do that in normal life, I should probably not do it on the internet either. So what I'm trying to do is try to provide like a like you say, you have the word from us in Sweden, smorgasbord. That's from us. You can have that. You can provide them with all sorts of information. You can just say that this is what I believe and this is how I see it. And if they don't want to take the information from you, if they don't want to learn from you, if they think you are full of it, then that's up to them. You just provide them with the information and say that you have this information, and if they want to come and learn about it, then they can do it, and then you can answer.
And I think that's a perfect spot to leave it off, because I have to get going.
Right. Yes, prepare for your important talk tonight.
Yeah, indeed. You know what, Jimmy, if you're going to be around this weekend, I'll talk to you during the weekend.
Sure. Right, it can be a bit tricky, because I'm going to try and catch 1 or 2 autumn fairs.
Okay.
And they will be in different places, a fair distance from me. So I think I will have to go to them, and it will be 2. So I will likely go to one on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Okay.
I like nature and stuff like that. So it's fun to see what they have produced.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, good deal. You know what we'll do? We'll probably speak on Monday then. We'll talk about our adventures.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can do that.
All right,
That's
perfect.
Cool. And good luck this evening.
Thanks, pal. And I'll see you. If I don't see you on the weekend, I'll see you on Monday, all right?
All right.
Have a good day, Jimmy. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Likewise.